Toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Like, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Oh, hey there, and welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, joined tonight by Matt Cascone. And hey, James. How you doing, buddy?
Poor James.
I am here because I'm contractually obligated to be. Like any sports team that has to do a media scrum after a big loss. I am here, but you're not getting anything good out of me, let me tell you.
I was saying this before the show. There was a small part of me that just wanted to like sit here and laugh at you to start it. And honestly, like the more I've talked to you before, I just feel bad. It's like kicking a puppy at this point, like a sick puppy.
I have been a fan,
or a puppy who had to have shoulder surgery.
Wow. Okay. That visual made me more sad. I have been a fan of John Cena since Ruthless Aggression. And I have been cheering John Cena since then.
I mean, the first time I knew... Sorry, keep going.
No, it's okay. This is what hell's like. I was in a profound situation tonight where I was rooting for CM Punk to beat John Cena, something that I've literally never done in my entire life. And I found myself watching my childhood hero on the weekend of my birth turn heel, effectively killing my childhood. And I won't be there for the fucking payoff in April. So, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm laughing at you.
My first interaction with James ever was in Ring of Honor in 2010 when I saw this guy dressed up as John Cena, and we all told him to go fuck himself. And like,
good old John Cena guy.
That's him kissing some girl and being like, "That's your sister." Clap, 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 clap. So I feel for James. I totally feel for James. But this was very, very satisfying, and we're going to talk about it, whether James likes it or not.
I don't know what the fuck was so satisfying about it. But okay.
Well, before we get into it, I do want to say hi to Dev. What's going on, dude? I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you for joining us. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to skip over everything else that happened and go straight into Cody Rhodes answering The Rock. So obviously, John Cena went and won the Elimination Chamber, pinning CM Punk to officially seal it after Seth Rollins fucked him over.
Not pinning.
He tapped. No, he submitted him. He submitted him.
Yes, you're right. My apologies. He passed out Punk. He didn't even submit him. He passed him out to win the Chamber. Chamber comes up. Cody comes out. The two shake hands. They seem like they're having a good time. Then Travis Scott comes out to introduce The Rock.
The worst thing ever.
Hey, I was expecting a full performance from him, and all I got was Travis Scott just kind of being there, and I didn't hate it as much as
I feel like they've been trying to make up the fact that he couldn't be at WrestleMania last year since then. And first of all, the guy kind of sucks in general. He's kind of just a bad person IRL. And now we're just having him infect some of the best stuff going right now. So go away, you weirdo, with your sage. I didn't know that you were a college-aged, like, white girl.
Now, this is the guy that was on the first episode of Raw on Netflix, right? The guy who's smoking the blunt?
Yeah, he was the one who was, he was smoking with Jay.
Insufferable. If he just performed in the beginning of his entrance, that would have been fine. Just like, dap The Rock, whatever, and like go to the back. He just came off as like a total mark with the title belts. And there's nothing wrong with being a mark. This is the Mark It Down podcast. Hey, we got Skibbo here with us. Hello.
Hey, Danny.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for Matt to finish before I say anything.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you, but regardless, he comes out And there's nothing wrong with being a mark, but like you also shouldn't look like you don't belong in the ring or like, you know, on the show side of these things. He looks like he belongs in the crowd with the fans.
It was very much Rock as a corporate friend, but at the same time, was he not just with somebody who stood against The Rock not a year ago? So I guess Travis sold out too.
Cena stood against The Rock a year ago.
That's also true. So The Rock comes down after Cody does. He once again declares that he wants Cody's soul. Cody tells him verbatim to go fuck himself, which James, you could probably tell me this before anybody else. I feel like that is the first on a live mic fuck in WWE.
I would say it's the first one in decades.
Yeah, at minimum, because Roman was saying them during matches, especially during like the Thunderdome era, when honestly, again, I say this all the time, I think that helped make Roman the guy he is now because there was no crowd and we can hear his in-ring shit talking. But Cody tells The Rock to go fuck himself. Cena seems very happy about this, gives him a hug, and then death glares The Rock, and The Rock gives him the cutthroat, and Cena kicks him straight in the dick and starts beating the fuck out of Cody, hitting him with the title belt, hitting him with, I believe, the watch that Cody gave everybody, one of those gifts, and then eventually bloodying him, hitting him again with the title belt, and then eventually walked out with The Rock and Travis Scott for some reason. Cole, I really like this. As the show went off the air, Michael Cole went into the ring to check on Cody, and then if you kept watching, they kept airing everything. And Wade Barrett and Pat ended up joining Cody in the ring to help him out of the ring. So everyone was stunned by this. And I'm going to go to Danny first because you said a little bit, James, but also I need to laugh at this with Danny for a minute because Danny, I think you and I have been waiting for this for a really long time. This is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in wrestling. I jokingly threw in the NWO Firefly Funhouse gif of John Cena, and it happened. It finally happened. John Cena has turned heel, and it is amazing.
You know, they say that patience is a virtue, and you know, you gotta wait, you gotta let things play out. And after suffering through 2 decades of garbage, Cena is good finally for the first time.
Garbage. King Takashi, I'm glad it fell. I'm glad you didn't get to go on it.
Oh man, we're just getting started, and he's already. James, why are you so upset? Your hero's gonna get to main event WrestleMania for one last time. Yeah, what's the problem? But shit, I really don't want to like.
Oh, you do, because you keep saying I don't want to, but you keep doing it.
No. Hear me out on this one.
I'm not laughing at you, James. I'm just laughing at the situation.
What I was going to say is, I don't want to form well thought out, coherent sentences and put my thoughts into words. I kind of just want to laugh at James, honestly. And I feel bad about it, but it's so funny. It's so great. Cena turned heel. Like, life is beautiful. This is like the only good thing that's happened all 2025. Like, this is crazy. It's been a bad year so far, and things just finally looking like they're gonna turn around.
It's very upsetting that in a world where we need a hero, we're turning to fucking Homelander. It ain't right.
No, it's fine. You know, it's a guy who's doing Cena better than Cena ever did Cena.
Nope.
It makes sense. You know,
he got booed out of one company. We all kind of just ignored it. And it clearly wasn't good there, but it was good here because, I don't know, we were just tired of fucking Roman. Do it in any other situation where Roman isn't fucking champion and see if people give a shit about Cody Rhodes. They were fucking booing him on the way to WrestleMania 40.
But if he
I
he had
love
to
this side of
retire,
James.
it's
'Cause
rough.
he doesn't even, I don't think he truly believes what he's saying, but he's just letting his emotions out, and it's
Guy
coming out
looks
of
more
sight
like
of
a
him.
Gunther than Walter does.
Is that a shot at Cena's bald spot or Cody?
It was that Cody.
Yeah, it was a the blonde hair, blue
That's
eyes
true.
bit. Let's not
I
get
was-
too far
there was
into
a small-
that.
There's a small part of me that hoped Cody accepted The Rock's offer and went back to black-haired Cody, but
Same.
This is better. This is better.
Oh, this is the best possible outcome. I can't imagine how this could have turned out any better. It's beautiful. It's so great. It's so silly. Cause like what if Cody was like, yeah, Rock, okay, I'll take your offer, and then he just looks at Cena like Cena's like, oh wait, we had a deal, so like what does this mean for us now? Like what are we gonna do, boss? Like
we were talking about that before you joined us. I have to believe that if you're The Rock, it's one of those things that you just have so many contingency plans and you don't really care as long as you have somebody standing with you, whether it's the current WWE champion in Cody or it's Cena. He doesn't care who he screws over.
Yeah, it's
But
that
it
or
would've
he
been
like
funny,
really it's that or he really believes Cena was gonna win.
Yeah.
Because I was very interested in the fact of the order they did this. It makes a lot of sense, post game, but because I would have swore this segment would have went on after the Owens Zayn fight leading into the chamber. And then afterwards, Cody maybe would have come out, addressed the winner, and then beat down. But the way they did it was way different. And I was not expecting Cena to do this. Like, there's no way, Matt, that you expect this to happen. And then it happens, and holy shit.
Well, I mean, Travis Scott, I couldn't figure out why he was there, but everybody else was just like me. I'm like, it's either a triple threat match or Cena turns heel tonight. It had to be one of those two things in the moment. If you asked me at the beginning of the night, I would not have been like, oh, it's one of those two things. Like, it definitely would be on the board, but I'd be like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen tonight. It's crazy. I mean, if Cody sold his soul, he might have told Cena to go F himself. Regardless, still super surprising. Like, yeah, I don't think they've ever not bleeped out the F word when it's plans. I mean, Punk said, like, to Jericho, like, fuck you 10 years ago, but that was bleeped out on television. So yeah, this might be the first time they've done an F word purposefully without bleeping it out, and everything that happened afterwards, just crazy, man. You can see it on their Instagram story. That was live me freaking out.
You know what? Another thing. If CM Punk wasn't such a fucking loser, I wouldn't even be in this fucking position. Because he's a perennial choke artist and he can't get to the main event of Mania. We're in a position where this happens with Cena.
I mean, it's Seth's fault.
Yeah, you're right, James.
What about Seth, who cheated? He cheated. He should have been kicked out of the ring. We're going to go back. We're going to go into that.
It's not cheating if you lost.
It's no disqualification, dude. Like,
when you
cheating.
get eliminated, you have to leave the ring. That's the rules.
Or you cannot even be in the match and kick someone's ass.
If that's a rule, why didn't Cena get DQ'd?
Because there's no disqualification.
There
are no rules.
It's not his fault.
But it's also funny because what if Cena didn't win the chamber? What was Rock's plan then? Like, did he make a deal with everybody in the match? Like,
that's what I say. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what happens Monday because I imagine Cody will start asking people, like, did you get an offer? Or like,
no, that'll never happen.
I would hope it comes out like somebody be like, Logan Paul probably like, yeah, he gave me the offer. Like, I think that would be
The Rock famously doesn't talk to Logan Paul anymore.
Cool.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, for years.
Yeah.
Like,
shit, why'd you just turn him face?
We
What?
don't know.
You just turned him face.
Why? Because of the Japan stuff? What was
No,
he
turned The Rock. No, I'm saying he turned The Rock face for not talking to Logan.
I understand, but like, what was the reason they're not talking anymore?
Because I say this as somebody who loves The Rock. It's probably the terrible optics that happened after the Japan thing that Rock was just like later.
Yeah.
Crazy because it's never stopped anyone else in the company from associating with him. Except for
that's
legend
because enough
Dominic
times
Mysterio.
that were making fun of him for it. When it happened, it was just he was toxic. Now, because the American news cycle is 24 seconds as opposed to 24 hours, people have moved on.
And he's also not allowed in Japan, so like that's
Or Egypt now too. So that's cool.
So I feel like that's like I'm not defending him, but like I think that's a pretty solid punishment.
For the record, I believe he is allowed in Egypt. He just wouldn't be sponsored by the tourism board. I believe that's what actually happened. I'm just saying, like he can go. It was something that got blown up, and we pride ourselves on accuracy here at the Market Down podcast.
We are
Eric's jumping in the chat saying terrible optics walking out with Travis Scott. I think you can't really be more heel than walking out with Travis Scott. So it kind of worked out for him.
Again, he looked like a jabroni though with the title and the sage. Like he just looked like a dude from the crowd.
He is the officially recognized hardcore champion in WWE right now.
Also, that title looks like shit. It's the new title, like with just the old hardcore title stuff painted, not even painted, like glued on it. Like
I want
the old one. That was what the hardcore title back then was too, right?
But yeah, but it's the new one, so it looks like ass. That's why I'm saying, go get the fucking old one. Go get the real one. Don't give me this new one.
It's an update. I'd like to get a better look at it before I make judgment.
Nah, give me the original. If you're gonna fucking do it, do it.
But also fuck Travis Scott. Like, yeah. Like, raise your hand if you agree.
Yeah, in this context, I concur.
I mean, I agree. What context would you not agree with, Rev?
I don't honestly, God, I don't really know enough about Travis Scott to give a shit either way about him.
If he performed his song, you'd be okay with that.
I don't know if anybody's okay when he performs.
He's not my favorite artist.
I don't know barricades at ringside might not be strong enough.
I was waiting for that joke.
Yeah. I think he just got acquitted of that. So. Not even acquitted. I think he got found innocent. That doesn't matter. I don't want to get into it yet. James, do we have any more tears to drink from you? Or
can we give James just 3 minutes, put him up as the only person on screen?
Yeah. Hey, James, you want a solo?
Why not?
Oh, hang on. I gotta actually.
Work the waterworks, my friend. Come on.
Here, I'm gonna
Sell
put you there.
Sell it,
and then,
baby.
There you go. Go ahead, James. Everyone, lay out.
Genuine. This is not a performance. This is not anything. This is just me being real. John Cena, to a young James, was an actual hero. John Cena, to a growing up awkward kid who wanted to do good in the world, biggest hero outside of his parents. This is really weird for me because as an adult who likes good storytelling, this makes sense. This makes so much sense. This is a great thing for John to do in the last year of his career. And I'm so happy for everybody that gets to have this, that has been wanting this. I am devastated on so many personal levels here. The fact that I can't really be a part of it the way I want to be, the fact that it even is happening the way it's happening, this really kind of sucks. For me. I'm the weird one. I'm totally the weird one. I'm the guy who was cheering John when everyone was booing him. I have every color in the rainbow of John Cena shirts and hats and wristbands. I'm that guy. So for me, this is Superman, but this is Injustice Superman. This is the good guy going bad, and I'm the person he's turning on. There were a bunch of people who were cheering tonight. And again, I'm happy for them. But all these years of teases, I never actually thought it would happen. So this is surreal. This is painful. And I hope it's worth it. I think the big thing, and I think we're going to talk about it maybe, is where does John and Rock go from here? And I, in my heart, in my soul, need John to lose at WrestleMania. Not just because I'm not going to be there, but because I need the hero to realize he made a mistake and he isn't acting like the hero anymore. And that's not who he is. So this is rough. Danny put it very eloquently in our chat, and I'm sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, man, I joked about it, but on my birthday weekend, childhood died a little bit. And I'm just gonna have to sit back and watch every week. And it's gonna be really weird. That said, I don't think I have it in my soul. I don't think I have it in my bones to boo John. So maybe bad guy Jim is coming out. I didn't need that comment. Thanks, Rev. Matt? Thanks, Matt. I don't know why we're doing this right now. I'm going to calm down. I'm calm. But that's fine.
John Cena guy deserved it. He deserved it. Let him go.
Alrighty. So let's all come back together. I'm a little empty right now, but thank you all for the time.
All right, so I didn't get to laugh as much as I wanted to at that, but
I did. I was just on
James
mute.
got to be earnest. But I really like the comments from Mr. Penguin that we got heel John Cena before GTA 6.
He put that in right as James started, and I was losing it. I didn't want to put it up while James was doing his soliloquy there.
Thanks, Rev.
You're welcome.
Wait, can I make a bold prediction right off the bat?
Go
Because
for it.
James thinks Cena should lose, or / wants him to lose at Mania for selfish reasons, but also for the story. And I think the way that happens is Roman helps Cody. And that's how Cody overcomes the odds, is that Roman helps him. They come together.
So the other guy that I've been cheering by myself for years.
Yeah, James is the other golden boy.
Oh, but come on, Roman's not the same as Cena, dude. That's
No,
not.
he's
It
not.
doesn't even come close.
No, he's not. He's not. Yeah, he's not. He's not.
Yeah. No, that's the sacrifice, right? Okay, it's that or Cena wins. Like, I don't know what you want.
Yeah, no. I would sacrifice 10 Roman Reigns.
The only thing I don't like about it is that I don't ever want to get the Rock Roman match, and that will probably lead to it. But you know, I guess I'll accept it if this is how we get there. Or can also just go on a little mini tangent. We were right to boo last year. We were right to fuck up the Mania plans last year. We made last year's WrestleMania better, and we got a John Cena heel turn out of it. We have all the power. We're the good guys, and we did everything right.
That said, WrestleMania 39 was still a mistake.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing, but yes, they're both true. Yeah.
We're finally the authority, Danny?
Yeah.
We're definitely not. We got 4 matches in 3.5 hours, guys. Like,
that is very true.
God, what are we doing?
Matt, I will slightly counter that. Obviously, the chamber matches were a bit longer, but we could have done 5, maybe 6.
We absolutely could have done 5. Let's put it this way: there was no excuse not to do 5. Hell, give us 3 women matches. Give us 3 women matches in a 5-match card, just to piss off like misogynists. Like, we should have had Rhea versus.
James is having a rough night as it is. Okay, you don't gotta add on to it.
You could have went with me. I said Eric first. Like.
Say my favorite line, James. Say it.
Say the line, Bart.
I actually don't even know what the line is. I'm not in my right mind right now, Matt.
Death taxes and crying in front of that.
I hate women. That's the line.
I want to hop in the chat really quick to say hello to Maria. Thank you for joining us once again.
Speaking of women, hi Maria.
Mr. Penguin saying that James should also sell his soul to The Rock. Fuck it, you might as well.
So I have some like hold on.
All right, as James gets this thing, Maria said this was like Bash of the Beach 2.0 and was more shocking than Hogan turning heel in WCW. I disagree. I think this was a little more predictable than Hogan. Hogan was very much out of left field I think
Well,
people
he came out and they didn't have a third man, and Hogan comes out, so like it's gotta be him. He's gotta be the third man.
If the internet was more prevalent back then, people were gonna say Hogan was the third.
That's what I was about to say. Thank you, James.
Yeah, that's why I think it's just a little less shocking. James, go ahead.
This is a piece of the ring mat from John Cena's 16th world title win.
Are you gonna destroy it?
I will burn it the day of Mania if I have to.
Do not do that.
Not win 17.
Don't LeBron James jersey your freaking thing.
No. It's witchcraft. It's not because I'm trying to send a message. I just need the universe to make sure he loses.
You ever see that It's Always Sunny episode about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and Charlie did all of his rituals to make sure they won? James is doing the opposite. Okay, he's making sure that his hero loses.
I have built up. I like to think that I'm a good person for the most part. I don't think I'm the best. I'm not anything to write home about, but I like to think I'm a good person, and I've banked up enough goodwill that I could cosmically charge a spirit bomb and throw it at Cena to make sure that this doesn't happen.
If you go to church on Wednesday and get ashes, maybe it'll happen.
I'll see it there.
I'll say, as far as James is concerned, this is the darkest timeline.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This is like the best timeline, honestly.
It's by far the funniest.
It really is. Like, it's bad. I don't want to, like, sit here and laugh at James to his face, but, like, it's so funny.
You know,
it's so hard. I want to be nice. I really do.
You guys ever see that 21 Jump Street bit with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum where they're both, like, on, like, a trip? Like, they both get high, and one of them's having, like, the best trip ever, and the other one is in, like, a fucking demon realm.
Yep.
This is me right now. I'm in the demon realm, but you guys are all sucking on lollipops and rainbows, and it's killing me.
I was going to
say, technically, James is having the right reaction, I think.
It's still real to me, damn it!
For the three of us, you know, we would have thought maybe Juan Soto coming to the Mets was the worst thing to happen to James.
What
but
have I done?
My only crime was being happy.
Also,
That's all I did.
James, did you know the Mets are having WWE night this season, and the Yankees aren't?
They've had it a couple of times. I have a Todd Frazier bobblehead
3
with
times.
the belt. With the title belt. I think I have 2 of them, actually, if somebody wants one.
So I couldn't tell you the years, but it was 2 years ago. They had one before WrestleMania 40, and LA Knight, was there. And then
I was at that game.
Yeah, me too. It was a good one. And then
we missed each other.
They lost, but it was still fun time.
The Yankees had a WWE day like 2 years ago.
Oh, that's right, with Bobby Lashley.
A lot of the teams have them. The Mets, I remember before Grand Slam, MJF threw out the first pitch, and I missed it by a day. I was a little upset.
Yeah. That was a bummer.
It was a Friday, and I was going to the Saturday game.
Yeah, but the Mets have had at least 3 WWE days, and this will be their 4th.
They do a bunch. Mr. Penguin saying the Yankees have Star Wars Day. The Mets have Star Wars Day.
True.
I have Mr. Met bobblehead in the Millennium Falcon.
What's Star Wars?
Speaking of Star Wars, shout out to my friend Jacobella and the 501st. They were the cosplayers at Star Wars Day at Yankee Stadium last season.
Yeah. I just wanted on the record that this is definitely just putting salt in the wound a little bit because I'm missing WrestleMania for Star Wars.
Because of Star Wars.
I was just thinking my bad. I did not realize that.
That doesn't sound worth it. But have a great time, man. You know? Vacations are rich and fulfilling, you know, like they're a very positive time of your life where you kind of reset, re-energize, and you get just a more upbeat perspective on life because you get away from your everyday routine. So, you know, enjoy that.
I'm going to be in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's going to be
for the first time ever.
For the first time ever. And I can't even go see Japanese wrestling because all the New Japan guys are going to be in the United States for WrestleMania.
Oh. If it makes you feel any better, I was supposed to go to Japan for the Olympics, and then COVID happened. I was also supposed to go to WrestleMania that year, but COVID happened.
Just so you know, this is the exact sort of dialogue that our theme music should be behind. Is that depressing speech James just gave right now? That's what it's made for. That's the exact thing.
I'm okay.
We have that.
I promise that everything's okay.
This has been like the worst year of James's life, and we are exactly 2 months into it. Like the Yankees lost Soto, John Cena turned heel, and he has shoulder surgery. Like
Darkest timeline. Like,
how would you rank those events?
I have 6 holes in my shoulder from this surgery. I would willingly let them drill another 60 if the timeline worked out better for me. You could wheel me into Mania and I would be okay.
Oh god, I want to jump in the comments.
Could you get me some Pokemon merch when you go to Japan?
Of course.
Danny, go to Palisades Mall. They got a really good shop up there.
They do.
Yeah, I heard. All right, so my hi Daniel. Fun fact, he's in the living room. Daniel says, I want to see something similar to WrestleMania 30 with Bryan, where Cody has 0 shot of winning, but somehow still wins. I think it will create a superhero in Cody. If Roman helps, I don't think that can happen. So I do agree with Daniel here in the sense that I do think, to looking forward here, I do think Cody ends up winning and defeating this corporate Cena because it cements him as quote unquote new Cena. You know, like it cements him as the new face golden boy. And I think he would still have the opportunity to turn when it does happen, and it has to happen. But I do think, Matt, that it does, him beating Cena cements him as a new golden boy. And whether or not Roman helps is arbitrary, although, as Danny said, it does set up Rock Roman, which is a thing that I think needs to happen.
No.
But I think,
yeah, I was going to say Danny doesn't agree with that last part, but keep going.
Yeah. But I do think Cena does end up losing to Cody, putting him over, and then James doesn't miss the 17th title win, and Cody is now officially the new face of the franchise. I know that's Moose's thing, James. I'm sorry.
So are you asking like what I think? Do I agree with you?
Yeah. What do you think is going to end up coming out of all this? Looking forward.
I mean, it's like The Rock says, enjoy the ride. So I think we have 49 days, technically 48 now, till WrestleMania. There's a lot of time to develop the story, see where it goes, and get a better idea and perspective of what's happening. At the very moment, I would say I'm like 65% sure Cody's going to win. The only reason I don't like that idea is that it's like, what does Cena do after? Does he get like remorseful and go back to being a face? And then you just kind of be like, but you were just an asshole. Like, do we forgive you for that because you lost? Like, would you be asking for forgiveness if you won? Like that kind of thing. I think it puts Cena in a difficult position, though I am very intrigued and I'm more excited about heel Cena versus Cody than both being faces. And this is the biggest heel turn since Hulk Hogan joining the NWO.
Yeah. Danny, how do you think this is going to play out going forward?
I think it's going to play out nicely. I think Cena is going to do the best work of his career because it's a low bar mostly. But genuinely, okay, just
mean.
And I am going to be mean to Cena, but I mean this in a more positive way. This was such a breath of fresh air, not just because it's the biggest heel turn we've seen in 2 decades plus, but like Cena has been a parody of himself, who was already a parody in a way, but like the overacting, like the extra bit of goofiness to his movements, like he's not as snappy as he used to be. Like he doesn't move with, and I hate to use this word, but aggression. You know, like he does move around like just like a cartoon parody of someone who had to like speed run Cena matches to see how he moves and acts. And I'm not saying this literally just to bash Cena, but to say that him turning heel undoes all of that. Like immediately, the look he gave Rock, you know, like that second, I was like, oh my God, yes, please. This is so much better than if we just had a face run where he's just not phoning it in, because I don't believe he's not trying, but he's just playing the hits. And it's just, like I said, he became such a parody of himself that him becoming someone new is so refreshing and exciting. And it is what I think is best. If you're going to do his final year, this is how you fucking do it. And then it doesn't have to last long. I don't think it's going to be like he loses at Mania and then immediately turns back. But I do think he still ends the tour as a face. He realizes he was wrong. He comes to his senses. He hits The Rock with an AA and goes out on top, or as a face, not on top. I hope he goes out dying to Braun Breaker or Gunther, but like he will still leave this face. It is fine if we get a 3-month heel Cena, a 6-month heel Cena. I don't even care if it's for the next 2 months. Like, we're getting it, and it's fantastic. I'm so happy that this fucking terrible cartoon character is now an adult cartoon character. I don't know how to bring that home, but you get what I'm saying. And James, I can tell you kind of see where I'm coming from with that.
I do. It's look, Cena hasn't done anything meaningful in the last several years, and that's because of his schedule. And
the people they gave him too. It's not just him.
Yeah.
I don't put it all on him.
Solo Sikoa, Austin Theory, tag matches with The Miz and R-Truth, stuff like that. And it's like,
I mean, he had to give R-Truth a tag match with his childhood hero. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, as Matt's lower third says, we do appreciate the Make-A-Wish people. But I also did understand that it was because we were getting Cena for these special appearances because he wasn't coming back. Like he was doing what he said he would do, which is if he has the time, he would show up. But yes, I am very much truly my emotion outside of it. This is incredibly. I'm little Jimmy.
Literally. Jinx, show me a Coke.
I am intrigued by what's coming. I do have to disagree with Matt a little bit. I actually do think there is something to him turning face sooner than later, because him realizing that he sold his soul for nothing is so much more compelling than him selling his soul and succeeding.
Yeah.
Then why didn't he do it years ago? He could, this is why he never turned heel all those years. It's because he shouldn't have. That's not who he is. That's not where his strength comes from. So there's a joke, but we're not going to hit it. Him being a good guy, you know where it is. We all know where it is. And again, it goes back to Matt's lower third. But
oh no, I'll pop it. Sorry, Mr. Penguin has been popping me in the chat for the last 20 minutes. Saying R-Truth soul, surely Cody should sell his soul, and then R-Truth should turn heel to follow in his childhood hero's footsteps.
I mean, it is canon. It is actual wrestling canon that Cody Rhodes hates R-Truth because of their past years ago. So if you bring R-Truth into this, hey, Daniel will be happy because it's not the fucking Miz.
I don't want to go that far. I hated that he was involved last night. I was like, this is way too serious of a program. But then Travis Scott was there, and I was like, I guess it's not that serious. Like, who knows? But okay, just one more thing that I love about this. I love that it's Cena and The Rock specifically. I love that Cena is finally selling out, and it's with The Rock, the same guy who he hypocritically said all those things about and then did the exact same thing. It's actually beautiful that they're doing it together right now.
So can I just say, I agree in terms of this storyline that works. I never, and I think I could say this fairly. It's not because I'm a Cena fan. It is ridiculous to compare how Cena left WWE to how Rock left WWE. Rock left WWE after 6 years when there was still so much more he could have given back to the business and didn't.
And they were struggling.
Cena stayed for decade plus.
Too long. Oh, okay, sorry.
Quiet you. And still came back. We ridiculed him for it just now a second ago, but he came back to put people over. Did it work? I mean, maybe arguably, and we're being generous with Solo, but he still made the effort to come back and to contribute.
No,
I will never say that Cena and The Rock are the same in how they handle things. Ever.
Here's a question for all of you, and then maybe we can move on. Unless don't let me sell anybody short. You can by all means chime in. Two things. One, does Cena lose the jorts during this heel run? I think yeah. And I've forgotten the other question, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yes, I think Cena teased years ago. Cena teased years ago that when he was going to turn heel initially against The Rock, they had mocked up gear for him, and they were going to really lean into him being a professional wrestler.
He said, I think it was the CVV interview. He was like, I got new gear. I recorded a new track. Like, I'm really hoping we hear that track now. Like, I think he's going to hang and go Chino shorts. I think we get a lot of suits. That's what I think we're going to get.
I remember Cena back when he was doing the Thugonomics stuff.
The yellow pants.
Thank you. The yellow pants.
There you go. There's Thugonomics Cena.
What happened?
It's a Thugonomics Cena right here with the backwards hat.
Yep.
What do you think, Danny? Do you think he's losing the jorts?
I'm really mostly surprised that James thought Scorpion King was a good movie. Honestly.
I enjoyed it. For an action movie, it's a fun action movie.
It was no Mummy 2.
What?
There's no Mummy 2.
No Mummy 2.
I enjoy the Mummy 2. I enjoy the Mummy 2.
Well, Electric Boogaloo. Honestly, those in order are like the Mummy 1 was great. The Mummy 2 is great, but not as good as the first one.
We're also disrespecting it by calling it the Mummy 2. It's the Mummy Returns.
The Mummy Returns.
Sorry, honestly, I did forget that.
I remember the last question. So if Cena doesn't win the world title at Mania against Cody, does he win a world title before the end of his run? I would say yes. What does everyone else think?
I'm leaning yes.
Do you want me to what I think's going to happen or what I want to happen?
What you think.
Danny, we know you don't want him to win.
Don't make James any more upset than he is. Do you think he'll win the title?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
My ideal situation is he wins it at SummerSlam as a babyface.
Daniel goes give him the IC title instead. It would give him the Grand Slam.
Which Danny also doesn't want. We've talked about this before. Which is your worst case scenario? Him winning 17 or him winning the IC title?
Oh, wait, the 17's way worse because they'll never shut the fuck up about that. If he wins the IC, they'll make a meal of it in the moment and then never talk about it again. Like,
what if he wins the IC title and Warriors it and becomes the 17 champion? I'm having a rough day. I'm allowed these fantasies, Matthew. I'm allowed something.
Okay, just to give a quick why I would like him to not accomplish either. The world title one is just because fuck him. But the IC title one is because why is everybody a Grand Slam champion? Wouldn't it be nice if they can be like, being a Grand Slam champion is something even John Cena couldn't do. That's so much more valuable if he doesn't do it as opposed to does. Like, remember how they used to have like legends come back, like they'd be like, oh, Roddy Piper, like Ted DiBiase or like Dusty Rhodes, like they never won the WWE title. It made the title seem more elusive and special. If we're just like everybody is automatically a Grand Slam champion by just being there for 7 years, like, it should actually be special. That's why I don't want him or Sheamus to win the IC title.
I think it's still special, but I will say I did think it was ridiculous that like Jeff Hardy, Mysterio, and Randy Orton all became Grand Slam champions. Like none of those guys did anything with the U.S. title, which is what they needed to get to be the Grand Slam champion.
No, Jeff became a Grand Slam champion through the old way, which was the European title. You're also sideways.
Yeah, I was saying, Matt, you flipped. That's why I was.
Oh, wow. I don't know why I did. Like, I literally haven't touched my phone, so I'm not sure why I did that.
Sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, while you fix that, I do want to throw in a couple of quick tidbits. One, the reason I broke down while Danny was laughing was one of my friends just texted my other wrestling chat that James is also in for a wellness check of James. The other thing is, I have my cousin in the other room. Like I said, shout out Daniel. He's watching the press conference. So a couple of notes from that. Triple H said, "quote John Cena has earned the right to do it when he wants to do it." So I guess that's a little out of kayfabe.
So John wanted to turn heel here. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah,
it sounds like it. The Rock is apparently out there being Dwayne, asking if the final boss is a heel or face is limiting to the character. The final boss does not adhere to the usual tropes that we see in professional wrestling characters.
He's not only adhering to them,
dork.
he is like highlighting the tropes of professional wrestling. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's cool and it's fun to have a cartoony, over-the-top big bad guy. Sometimes, like, it makes it more enjoyable when the good guys win in a lot of instances. So commit to the bit, or at the very least, just don't talk about it because you don't understand what you're doing, Rocky.
Bro, dude is not fucking serious. I can't. I watched Baywatch for the first time like a couple days ago because me and James have nothing. The movie, not the show. And that's what Rock should be doing. He should be doing silly comedy bits. He's not a serious actor, and he's really trying to put on his big boy.
That's a Scorsese.
I was just gonna say I am so fascinated by him being cast in the Scorsese movie. So we'll see.
Imagine he says nothing. He's just like he's Batista in that 007 movie.
Yeah,
you hit it and line.
Shit.
He was great in that movie, though. I really like what he did. If you want to,
maybe Scorsese's doing a comedy.
If you want to see The Rock doing some good acting, go watch Be Cool. But Mr. Peng saying Gridiron Gang is underrated.
Get Smart. I watched Get Smart again recently too.
Yeah, Get Smart was good. He's great.
Get Smart's a lot of fun.
Get Smart sucks.
Very sweet task.
Terrible.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But Southland Tales is a bad movie, but he's a good actor in it.
Get Smart is better than Steve Carell's whole run on The Office. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. We're just saying things now.
I personally don't like The Office, and even I would argue against that. Like,
I mean, his character.
Put him in timeout.
All right,
no, because if we put him in timeout, he's not coming back.
I'm going to take a 20 here. We're not going to do the Rock's freaking videography here.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's talk about the men's chamber match.
We've already almost spent an hour on just this. So
who the hell cares about the rest of the night? Next week we're all going to be talking about Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
I thought it was a decent match.
Producer
boy,
you're
not gonna, James.
Guys, producer boy just came in here to yell at us, so now we have to move on.
He's going to tell us we got to be done in 20 minutes.
I know. I'm going to close with the fact that the other thing that happened at the press conference was that Cena came out for the press conference, sat down, took the mic, dropped it, and walked out.
And he burned his jorts.
See, that's how you do it, Rock. That's how you fucking do it, Rock. You just you stay in character for 20 more minutes, asshole. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so I'll say.
Let's hit the men's elimination match, Danny.
Dude, I could give you my opinions on this real quick. The first 15 minutes of this match, boring as fuck. Oh my god, the first 4 entrants, it was a drag, the worst possible order. I get you need to have Punk and Cena come out last, but getting there was such a fucking drag. It was so boring until they came out. And then the last 15 minutes or however long, I don't know how long the match was, but what felt like the last 15 minutes was really good. And that's all I really have to say about it.
I'll go next. I totally agree. I was surprised that Punk came out, that Cena came out before Punk. I thought Cena was coming out last. And as soon as that happened, I told you this guy and the guys in the chat, as soon as that happened, I'm like, well, either Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins is getting eliminated before Punk enters this match. The multiple sequences that Punk and Cena did were amazing. As someone who is insulted John Cena on his wrestling skills, for years, this was just magical, and I love to see it. I would like to see Cena versus Punk one-on-one one more time before the end of his run. That's all I have to say about the men's chamber match.
I honestly thought that they gave us that with this match. Like, because I don't know if we are going to get the opportunity to get Punk versus Cena one-on-one again. So they kind of gave us a bone here where they had Seth involved a little bit. For the most part, though, it was Cena Punk to end it. I really liked Cena saying, "I'm sorry," as he passed Punk out, which was a good note, which I actually missed. And shout out to Reddit pointing it out to me as I was reviewing the post thread.
I pointed it out in the chat.
I don't read the chat. I try not to be on my I try not to be on my phone while I'm watching the show. I want to watch the show and not be knee deep into it.
You're right. They gave us the one-on-one match in the chamber, but I still want more. I want more.
Well, because they pretty much gave us the Money in the Bank sequence where Punk tries to go for the GTS. Cena counters it, goes to the STFU, and then Punk switches it into the Anaconda Vice, and then Cena gets the pinfall attempt and they kick out. Like, that was an exact sequence, I'm pretty sure, from Money in the Bank back in 2011. So they were playing the classics. It looked really cool. I low-key kind of hoped maybe Punk would tease a pile driver, which would have been funny, but whatever.
That would have been well, I mean, Kevin's really doing the pile drivers right now, but I get what you're saying. What do you think,
just
James?
a tease.
James is just like, I'm done.
Yeah, no, James is in an old little world right now, and I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, what was that last bit? I apologize.
Just men's elimination chamber. What'd you think? We're just trying to run through it.
I enjoyed, like Danny said very well, I enjoyed the back half of this match. I agree with Matt. I as somebody who has very, very vivid memories of Cena Punk back in the day, I would love to see that revisited, especially now under these new circumstances of heel Cena, babyface Punk.
Exactly.
And arguably, for many people, Cena was the heel in that feud, no matter how you paint it. But
especially in Chicago.
Yeah. But now it's like there's no denying it. Cena's the bad guy. I love the play on them hugging. Yeah. Show this real quick. Minimize us if you can, producer boy.
Yeah, there's a way to make it smaller, I think. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
We were all wondering, and that's what it was. So very well, or at the very least, they fell ass backwards into it, and it's beautiful. I'm also going to believe it's legit because Rock is also the guy who, when everyone else is going like this, is going like this. He very clearly doesn't understand hand gestures. But I love the play on Cena and Punk hugging, and then Cena going for the handshake again, and Punk just straight up hitting him with the GTS. I thought that was fantastic. I am a little frustrated about Seth being so involved in the finish and helping Cena win, because even though it's going to do something for Seth that he helped lead to this with Rock and Cena, and that's going to be something he has to wrestle with. All this shows me is that we're probably getting Punk Seth. Like, how do you justify not having Punk Seth again when I also don't want to see that match again?
Oh, Roman. We're getting that triple threat.
Yeah, the triple threat.
That Punk Cena Roman triple threat.
And I was shocked that Roman didn't get involved in this match. I thought he would have done something at the end there, not Seth.
Roman's contract doesn't have to be there unless he wants to be. And I'm sure he didn't see this coming in kayfabe. But yeah, I love that angle of it. And quite frankly, I think they did a great job of putting Seth over. It took a combo of the GTS into the AA to put him down. And yeah. I think that's awesome. Like, we all talk about who the big people are in WWE, who the big names are, who are the needle movers and stuff like that. Sure, there is a hierarchy, but at the same time, these are the guys who are delivering it week in, week out for us. Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Like, did we think any of them were winning? No. But at the same time, they deserve to be treated like the stars that they are of today's product.
I hear you say that, but like at the same time, I felt like the Chamber had 3 standouts and 3 duds. And I'm not saying performance-wise, I'm just saying booking-wise. Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre all looked lame compared to Seth Rollins, Cena, and Punk.
Well, Drew, so here's the thing.
Well,
Seth,
the thing is, they are lame compared to.
well,
Cena.
but legit though, Drew fell to the same thing Seth did. Seth's own anger and hatred and ego led to his demise in this matchup. The
But
same
he was still eliminated first, though.
All due respect to everybody in this match, it doesn't fucking matter if you're eliminated first or last. You're still a loser.
If I may hop in, I do think, though, that they did a good job of, I think now maybe setting up Drew versus Damian for Mania.
The match that people don't want.
Yeah,
Straight.
that's the problem. Yeah, we've had this match. It happened already. We don't need to see it at WrestleMania now. And like, I feel bad because I love Drew and I really, really like Damian. But I don't think either men are in a match or look like they're going to be in a match that is worthy of what they should be doing.
Yeah, it's definitely an undercard thing, which is kind of annoying. Especially hater of the year, Drew McIntyre is not going to get a motherfucking Mania match.
Yeah,
yeah, like that's
Or
the
a
thing.
solid
Like,
A good one. Yeah, solid one. Yeah, thank
it's
you.
not a knock against Priest. It's just, it's a huge step down for Drew. Just because he's the guy being left out again. It's like,
yeah,
Drew's
I agree.
in that same camp as like Kevin Owens and like those guys who do all this good work and then this time of year always get pushed a little further down to the wayside. Like we'll talk about him in a bit, but like Sami Zayn, like, you know, like what's he gonna do now? You know, like he's can be thrown to the wayside. It's these guys that keep, you know, getting it. And now, look, I get it. The story of what they're doing with Drew makes sense. I don't think it's good though, just because it's practical logic wise. It doesn't mean that Drew should be eliminated first by roll up in the chamber, lose to DUI Uso, and then lose to less DUI Uso all within a 2-month span. You know, like it's not good.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
It's pretty on brand for Danny.
No, I'm not surprised, but he still shocked me. I'll say it's the same. It's a match we saw last summer, and now it's not for a title, and we're not going to get interference like we did last summer. But I'm still not excited to see it. It sucks for Drew. It's not as bad as facing Baron Corbin, but like it's still not great.
Right.
And I feel bad saying that about this because Damian Priest is a good hand. I think he's good. I like him, but I'm not. If I had to skip a match while watching Mania, it'll be that one.
I do think that there are so many legends floating around the top of the card at WWE right now that it's a lot harder for guys like Drew and Damian to really breach into the main event picture at the moment. You know, and I'm even including guys like Seth in quote unquote legends here. You got Cena, Rock, Punk are legends, but Seth has been there for so long at the top of the card where, again, guys like Drew, guys like Damian it's going to be hard for them to get near the top of the card just because of the way things are breaking out. Roman, too, obviously. He's got to get involved.
You could be Chad Gable.
That's true. My man's been trying to learn the ways of the luchador.
James, I know you're hurt right now, but damn, man, too far.
Low blow. I apologize.
But yeah, look, I thought this match was good in the beginning, like it was like entertaining, and obviously I think that last third when we got to the final three, it hit a different gear, and it became great. So I think that's why people are going to remember it for at least a match, at least for that last third, and then obviously what came after. Was a true effect on it.
Yeah, those last three guys, that's what people will remember.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the women's elimination chamber match where Bianca Belair was able to pin Liv Morgan to win the chamber. Obviously, this started in chaos as Jade Cargill made her return, and in a bit of a swerve as Liv was facing off with Naomi to start, Jade came out, looked like she was going to beat the fuck out of her attacker, quote unquote, Liv, and then she beat the fuck out of Naomi, who was then unable to continue, and we had to go to the first pod, which kind of, I thought, threw off the entire pacing of the match a little bit. But we had that happen, which I called that. I know I didn't do it on the pod, but I called that. And then, obviously, we eventually got to Bianca, who was the first person out of her pod, $2, whoever's phone that was. she was the first person out of her pod, and she was able to overcome the emotion she had, and eventually outdid Liv to get it. I really liked this match, James. I thought it was very, very good. Again, the pacing was a little weird just because it was only 5 women instead of 6, but I think Liv was probably MVP of this match.
Yeah.
She was the only one who actually bled in a match tonight, which definitely was an upset. But she did great. I enjoyed the stuff with Roxy and Bayley. Alexa, I don't want to say she got hosed, but what happened. But still, I enjoyed this a lot. Good opening.
I enjoyed the matchup, and we knew the men's match was going to be the main event match. Like I think we all kind of figured that. So the smart money was this was going to start it. I mean, she is married to one of them. I enjoyed the matchup. I'm not thrilled with the outcome. And it's not because I don't love Bianca. I think Bianca is great. I think she's one of the best women they have on the roster. I just think it's a mistake to set us up for Rhea versus Bianca with like a month of build and
To be
another
fair,
bigger story, not bigger, but another big storyline that's kind of overshadowing it with the Jade Cargill Naomi stuff.
to be fair, the Mania's on like the 20th, right? So they got like 2 months.
They have 48 days.
All right,
And to be honest, they're gonna blow it all in the first 3 weeks and then struggle for the remaining 3 weeks of build because that's how they fucking do it. But
well, they do have a little bit of leeway because of the Jade and Naomi stuff. That could very easily turn into a 2v2 situation at some point. Like,
which I hope it does. I hope it does mean that Bianca's also turning heel. Sorry, do you have anything else you want to say, James, before I get it?
By all means, please.
Bang is with you, dude.
Because
So
one, I would be nice if Rhea Bianca had a heel face dynamic, but 2, it would just be really cool to see Bianca turn heel. You know, she's been doing a great job, and she has avoided getting the babyface backlash for years. She almost got it towards the end of her last title reign. She was so close. She got out just in time, and then moved into the tag division, which helped cool it off because people were just like, "Yeah, Bianca's great. She does good hot tags." And then it was good. But seeing her turn heel would be super interesting. Like, it's good that Naomi's heel because Naomi's, to me, a very bland babyface, especially since her return. I think she's kind of done like little to nothing. So like it's good to give her something to do. Like, I think Naomi's best run before this was when she was heel after all the Divas Revolution faction split up. And she turned heel with, like, she was still heel with like Tamina, and then like that was probably her best run. So yeah, let her go heel again. It gives Jade a match, and then Bianca, if she turns heel, having Rhea and Jade as the baby faces, that's a great rub for Jade. And it just gives so many more fresh dynamics and makes things more interesting. I agree with James though that it's weird that this does not feel like the year we get Rhea Bianca. That feels like something that would have been teased for a long, long time, considering how Triple H likes to tease things for a year and never follow up on it.
Yep.
You know, with the women's division, like Becky and Rhea had like a stare down almost 2 years before their match at Mania, and then finally had that match 18 months later. But yes, Rev?
This has been teased for years now. Like the Rhea Bianca stuff?
Not in the same way, though.
Yeah, no stare downs.
Like, this went back to like NXT.
I don't know. Not with a significant level of focus. I agree with you. It's not like, oh my God, the thought of this has never been teased or presented in any way. Like, they've had Rumble interactions. They have. But it's not the same as we're setting up arguably our 2 biggest stars in our women's division.
Didn't have the interaction in NXT. It was Bianca, Rhea, and there was one more person in that ring. It was Raquel. Okay.
Yeah, that was
But,
over 3
Yeah, that
years
was a big
ago.
thing. Yeah, but that was when everyone was like, "Oh, we want this Bianca Rhea thing." I personally think we're getting Bianca Rhea EO triple threat. I think that's how this is going.
I
No,
don't like
Io
that.
Io has the match with Rhea tomorrow. Well, technically, Monday. Yeah. So
All right,
that's
I still think we're getting a triple threat. I would look. I'm good either way. I'm good with Rhea Bianca straight up. I'm good with the triple threat. Either of those matches, I think are going to bang. So I'm good.
to counter what Danny was saying. Bianca, yeah, she did avoid that the face, people getting bored of the face and booing her, with the exception of Puerto Rico. They booed the shit out of her and wanted Io Sky to beat her. And then
Right, but it didn't stick.
fine. Yeah, it was a one night only thing. Bizarro night. And then Rhea and Bianca were supposed to have a match whatever year it was when the Judgment Day first started. I would think it was like Money in the Bank or something. But Rhea got hurt like last minute, so they had to cancel the match. And that would have just been a throwaway match. Like Bianca would have won that easy based on the booking at the time. But yeah, it definitely seems an odd time to have this match. I'm sure they'll kill it, so I'm not really worried. Do you guys think it'll main event night one?
I was gonna say it
Eric
should.
does.
It should. It absolutely should, because that's the only reason you should be doing this match.
I agree.
Like, so first Gunther, that's open in one of the nights. Let's be realistic. That's not main event. Uso's not main eventing, you know. You know what I mean? But it should be, because what else? Like, I'm actually in favor of the stupid Punk Roman Seth triple threat.
She's so
But
good though.
that should not main event either, because it's like it's just a blood fight.
That's
This is
like
what I'm. But
maybe
so
like the
give it to
third
Rhea
to last
Bianca.
match before the main event. I think.
Yeah.
Like you have that big banger, and then like you have a couple of matches like cool downs, and then you go to the main event. I think that's probably where that's
Yeah.
slot in.
Yeah. So like I say absolutely give it. Rhea has kind of been screwed out of main events, like low key, and it just doesn't get, like I talked about. But give her the one, because she's on that level. Like she's like her and Bianca are those. They're the new Becky Charlotte. They've surpassed like Sasha and Bayley. Like they're that big. They're the big stars of the present. So let them have it. It'll be a first non-horsewoman women's main event. Like give it to them. Yeah, I'm all for giving it to them.
Well said. Nick, I want to also agree with you that I think Liv was the MVP of tonight. I said it last year at the Chamber when she came back. I thought she looked really good, and I feel like it's been a solid year for her. And what were yeet? Are we yeeting?
We're yeeting with Mr. Penguin.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's yeet, Mr. Penguin.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
No, it's all good. My only real because I actually liked the Chamber match a lot. My only real complaint was it felt like Bianca wasn't selling at the end. Like you could say it was what's it called? Not Fighter's Passion, Warrior Spirit.
Yeah, that'll work.
Fighting spirit.
Adrenaline in her soul.
Yeah, she just kind of, but like Liv hits her with a code breaker, and she just kind of like nods it off. She doesn't even go like and she did that twice towards the end, and I'm just like, why are you not selling these moves? Like you can recover, that's fine, but you have to act like they had some kind of impact first. At one point, when she got hit with the knees from Liv, when Bianca did the 450 and Liv put her knees up, like Bianca immediately got up and was just kind of like, and then she's like, oh wait, I forgot to sell my ribs. But like still got an offensive move in. And I was like, come on, Bianca, you've been doing this a long time. You're one of the best. Like, when to sell, and why aren't you selling right now? You're not making Liv look great, and you're gonna win anyway. Like, sell the fucking moves.
I've been hit and had a delayed reaction, so I'm going to let that one go. But I do agree with you.
It happened twice, though. Where 2 times she didn't sell. At least 2 times.
Hey, you got balloons, finally.
We are not celebrating not selling for your opponents.
I do, Danny. I'm with you, though. I would love a Bianca heel turn. She was such a good heel in NXT, and I kind of miss that character. I know
feels like a lifetime ago now.
I know, like she's very mainstream now. I don't know if her and Montez still have that reality show on USA, but like she has become such a mainstream character, it might be difficult to turn her heel, but she can do it, and I know she can do it very well. So it would be very interesting to see her turn heel before Mania, especially because I don't think they can't turn Rhea right now, obviously. So let's see what happened. Hey, look, Vince Carter jersey. Let's go. That was at his retirement ceremony for his number in Brooklyn when he was in New Jersey net. Vince Carter's my favorite player of all time. So
good to know.
I will say that in regards to that tweet, I am glad there's not going to be any sort of Liv Rhea dynamic at Mania, but it's kind of crazy that Liv had, I would assume everyone would agree, the best year of her career and still can't get a singles match at Mania.
But she's got the tag titles, so
oh yeah,
they'll probably do something with her for that. Yeah,
she'll be on the card. Like, you know, you get to be on all the other pay-per-views. Like, I get it, it's not great timing, but sometimes it's just how it works out.
No, I agree, but like it's the same thing that we were just saying with like Drew and Sami and them. It's like, all right, well now we need the other people, so you gotta scooch on down. And you know, there was that report recently, and it's just a report, so who knows? But like, you know, the women have been unhappy with their creative and their directions, and they don't want to be in the tag match at Mania. That's not fulfilling. And granted, they had a great tag match on Raw, so if they do that at Mania, I think everyone will be happy. But like, you know, it's just going to be another multi-team match, and that's like, Rev thinks it's going to be a triple threat. I think Io is going to be in that tag match too. You know,
it's a possibility. I would love to see it, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
I think if they give the women enough time for a tag match and like put some real thought into the booking, then it can be meaningful. Because again, the difference
this is
between
Triple H.
Okay, you're right. Will it happen? Probably not, but I'm hopeful. And again, the difference between Liv's booking and like Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, as far as Mania is concerned, is she is going in as a champion. So she has something, even though we all think the women's tag team championship is kind of like a joke.
They are quite the MacGuffins in WWE.
I will say in this past year, they are more prestigious than the men's tag titles by
That's
far.
fair.
That's true.
Like, by very.
At
Those
least
titles are not going to be on
Tag
Mania.
titles are being treated well, I'd say. I think the Raw tag titles are a complete afterthought.
Yeah,
that is also fair.
Yeah.
They're not making the card. Like,
Yeah,
I hope they do, so the Street Profits are on the card. But like,
but at least the SmackDown titles are like main eventing SmackDown, whereas the Raw ones are barely being defended, and they're. I mean, I love the War Raiders or whatever they're called now, but you know, they're doing like the middle of the show, getting DQs against the Chad Gables people. So it is what it is.
That's a really funny gif. Yeah.
Good gif there.
My phone's dying. Just you know, so if I do like just disappear, it's nothing personal. But should we move on to the next match?
Let's keep it moving. Yeah, if I was saying, if you want to grab a charger, you can go ahead.
I can't.
Oh, you don't have a dongle? Hey, Steve Jobs.
Do you lead?
All right, let's move on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in their unsanctioned match. Least violent.
Skip over the women's tag match.
I was going to close with it, but okay.
That's not the order it happened in.
Yeah, well, we didn't do them in order in the first place, so
he's very right that we didn't go in order. So do whatever you want, Nick. You run it.
I'm doing Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. And I was going to say, this was on the scale of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn unsanctioned matches, a 5 out of 10 in terms of violence. Like, they did some pretty, gruesome looking spots, but I feel like these guys have done more. And I know they're older now and they can't do full blown package pile drivers on, ladders, draped across ladders. But I was expecting at least one package pile driver. I was hoping maybe for a Steamalizer. That was my, shot in the dark prayer.
Or a brain buster.
Yeah, or at least, this is one of those matches I think deserved a little bit of color, James, and it didn't get it.
A lot of color.
Yeah, and it
yeah.
just, I thought it was a good match. It was violent. I kind of like the lighting situation. I thought that was a good spin on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, I was a little bit surprised by the end. It came a little bit quicker than I was expecting. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, but it was still very good. But I know these guys can do more, and maybe I just got my hopes up too high.
I think realistically, this was another case of like a tale of two matches where the back half was significantly better than the front half.
Yeah.
I think for me, the big turn in terms of, okay, I'm really, really invested now, was when Kevin flipped Sami from the turnbuckle to the outside through the tables. Yeah, I think that's really what's up.
I was going to say, for once, Kevin erects something and doesn't go through it.
Yep. It's a brave new world, baby. I enjoyed the matchup enough. It was a match that, quite frankly, I'm glad didn't happen at Mania. I've been arguing that for weeks, if not longer. I think they delivered well enough, like in a show that unfortunate, but just reality. In a show that most people are going to only talk about years down the line from what happened after the show, I think they put on an entertaining matchup. I loved this Blue Thunder Bomb spot. That was fantastic. And
I like Kevin selling his eye too after he bounced off the barbed wire there.
As I'm sure we all somewhat remember, I know I do. I loved Kevin's entrance to NXT, which was just obliterating Sami with the power bomb to the barricade, not the barricade, to the ring apron.
Yep.
I thought that was a fun callback. That's not something we've seen be very important in Kevin's moveset in a while. So for him to go back to that, I thought was good. They almost kind of botched it a little bit because Sami, I guess Kevin didn't really drop him the right way, and Sami kind of like
sandbagged him almost.
He didn't make it all the way up.
Yeah.
I think it was the guys behind him, kind of like they were all crowded, and I think they might have tapped Sami, so they stopped the momentum from Kevin bringing him up.
Sami saved it though, like he was fighting back. So I thought that was actually part of it. I thought that was a good job.
And I think it worked out very well. I love the finish. And just going into the package pile driver stuff, it's the double-edged sword of making that move seem so dangerous. Like, they're not going to just whip it out any time now. It's going to only be for big situations when realistically it should have just been turned into his finish. So it's a little bit of a bummer in that regard. But
is it not a big enough situation? Yeah.
No, I do agree, but we've seen that for some reason pile drivers are taking people out. Like Randy Orton, spoiler, just came back after however long. So if they don't want to completely erase Sami from being around for Mania, they probably just didn't want to put themselves in that corner. Which in itself is still silly because he hit a package pile driver onto who? Cody?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
he went on to Sami 3 weeks before this pay-per-view. Like,
so the difference
now
is
in Mania and then the last time Sami took a pile driver.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The difference is that Randy has a long history of bad back problems. He almost had to retire because of the neck and the back. So that's the difference. It's like, the package pile driver is still, devastating. You won't get cleared medically for 3 weeks if you're a regular superstar. If you're Randy Orton, any kind of pile driver is going to take you out for 3 months.
Yeah. He's weaker than Sami and Cody and Mercedes. That's the takeaway.
Somebody posted a video of Cena doing like 3 Make-A-Wishes at the show tonight. Before.
The last 3. No, those kids are famous now. They're the last 3 Make-A-Wishes. Also, Matt said the neck and the back, and I am resisting a lot of things right now.
And my crack.
Don't dance, James. It's bad for your shoulder.
The doctors are mad enough at you already.
Really are.
But
I can't do anything.
Dude, 2025, your worst 2 months of James's life. But
You can
I
fly
don't
to Japan.
Danny,
Just
am I like I think am I overreacting in my disappointment for this match? I feel like I
No,
am, but
I'm kind of with you. We're like, and we're gonna be fighting an uphill battle because I think a lot of people are gonna love it.
it
And a
wasn't
lot of people
bad.
are gonna no, yeah. And I agree with James a lot because I said it too. But like the first half of this match was kind of not boring, but like run of the mill. This wasn't different than a street fight until about the time where he pushed Sami off the turnbuckle through the two tables, or even the brainbuster on the chair. Like,
Blue Thunder Bomb on the chair.
no. Then that was the second spot.
Oh, God.
Sami took
sorry,
a brainbuster through a chair. But when they were just brawling in the crowd and Sami hit the worst garbage can shot I've ever seen in my life, and it
That was
didn't make
funny.
a fucking sound at all. I was like, this was kind of whack, and the crowd wasn't even into it.
Crowd wasn't
Pat-
into anything tonight. They were like
Yeah.
pretty dead.
Well, I think also Skydome is huge, so part of me is like, oh, maybe like it didn't come off well, but then like they also had WrestleMania 18 there, and that was
Yeah.
pretty loud. I did love when Sami hit Kevin with the trash can. He said Sami hit Kevin with Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one good thing Pat said all night, who became unbearable, and to tie into the crowd. I feel like this crowd was in a sour mood because for some reason WWE was like, fuck you, we're singing the American national anthem here in Canada. And the crowd, for very understandable reasons, wasn't happy about it. And then Pat McAfee didn't shut the fuck up about it for like the first hour of the show.
So Canada has been booing the American national anthem at both basketball and hockey games, and hockey especially.
Very
Because
serious?
the 51st state.
That was really
thing.
good acting, James. You should
Actually,
work
yeah,
on
no, I
movies
bid
or
on that.
something.
Wow, my bad.
Yeah.
But especially with the recent Four Nations hockey tournament where it's USA versus Canada in Montreal, that didn't go over great.
Yeah, led to some fist fights.
Oh, dude, that was amazing. I don't want to get onto a tangent here, but yeah, that was great.
No, yeah. So like, it was kind of unbearable. Like Pat McAfee was so unbearable, and then
Set the tone.
that was me being like pulling at strings there to be like, yeah, maybe that's why the crowd was a little quiet tonight for a lot of
Also-
stuff, because they were like, fuck
also-
you.
Chelsea Green wasn't there. Very odd. She was there for the entire week. She was on SmackDown, and then she went back to Florida today.
Chelsea Green. Yeah, that's disappointing. I would have loved to see her there. I know Triple H likes to keep his pay-per-views tight, and I get that, but even Chelsea in a backstage segment
Exactly.
wielding the U.S. title as a Canadian in Canada would have been unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe she did it on the pre-show. I don't know. I didn't watch the pre-show. I was watching
Again, no, I doubt it.
Classic,
She went back to Orlando like earlier today.
Yeah.
Like, get some sort of interaction on Instagram with The Rock. Like backstage. Like, come on.
Have her run into Trish. Like there's something to do there.
Yeah.
So
They already interacted last night on SmackDown. But
true.
to get back on track, yeah, this match had its moments in the end, but I didn't feel it. This didn't feel unsanctioned until like a couple spots, and then once why were referees and officials come? It's unsanctioned, right? So like the whole thing was like, we can't do anything about it. We can't protect you if you get hurt, Sami. And what's the one thing they started to do at the end was try to protect Sami. Like it was still good. It was still really good. Like I'm talking about like it wasn't good. Like it was, but like this was not. It doesn't even touch what these two can and have done before. But like, it's fine. I don't know where Sami goes from here. If he wrestles fucking Karrion Kross at Mania, well, that wouldn't happen at Mania. That'd be like the SmackDown before Mania. Like that's fucking wild.
I mean, it would be kind of karma for Gable, but
Yeah.
I do real quick though. Speaking of Mania, I think obviously we're now getting James Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at Mania, which it seems like a pretty good setup.
I think, I mean, it's not a first ever matchup. They've definitely wrestled before, but years ago.
It's on a different level now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of different dynamics here now. So I'm in for this. Is it a match I'm super invested in? Not really, but WWE spent a lot of time and put a lot of equity into these two in their story over the last year. Teaming up, the betrayal, everything. So it wouldn't be fair to say that this wasn't a match with a lot of history to it. So it'll be, I'm sure both men will deliver, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'm super hyped. I mean, they teased a punt, man, and
Yeah.
I need it. And I
That
was saying,
nice.
Danny, I was saying, Kevin Owens is crazy enough to take a punt, like a clean one, because they were doing them during the pandemic and they could cut around it. I think Owens is crazy enough to take a legit punt, so I think we might get one at Mania.
I mean, yeah, Owens takes worse spots every chance he gets. He's gonna take a punt.
He's such a mark, and that's why I love him. So I think to tie a bow on this, at least for me on this match, I'm gonna go watch Ladder Wars and make myself feel better.
Yep.
I think I just, because of their history, I think I just hyped myself up too much, and I expected so much out of these guys, and they put forth a very good match, but again, the violence level on the Steen Generico meter was a 5.
You
Well,
know,
when you
it was
take
funny.
Generico out of
Cole,
the matchup, Sami can't hold up.
That's true. Yeah, Generico's a completely different person.
I mean, Michael Cole said it like early on. He was like, 12 or so years ago, a match took place between El Generico and Kevin Steen. It's like, but tonight this is not going to be like that.
They
And to
called
be
it.
fair,
I completely
he
missed
wasn't
that.
lying technically.
Oh damn, I missed that completely. Damn. Shout out to him. He's been Cole since he's gotten like the shackles taken off. He's been really cool about referencing other stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
a guy you can definitely tell who is actually likes wrestling and watches other things. And he was so excited to mention Lucha Underground when Penta debuted.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy for Michael Cole.
Are we talking about how he mentioned Sasha Banks and Chris Jericho tonight? Is that what you guys?
Oh no, we were mentioning the fact he mentioned Generico Steen matches. Before,
Oh, gotcha.
which I
And he also
missed.
mentioned Brian too. So
Yeah,
Wow.
they've been a lot better at it. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to the last match we got to talk about, which was Tiffany Stratton and the aforementioned Trish Stratus facing off against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I think pretty obviously Tiff and Trish took the win here. It ended up, I think Trish hit basically a avalanche Stratus faction and then was in a pinfall attempt. Candice went for a moonsault to break it up. Trish rolled out of the way. Candice hit it onto Nia, and then Trish tagged out, and then Tiffy ended up hitting her prettiest moonsault ever and pinned Nia for the win. Matt, it was fine. It was good for what it was. It was nice to see Trish back, obviously, but nothing groundbreaking here, and I think it ends the Tiffy Nia stuff in its totality.
Yeah, it was just decent, and it's great to see Trish Stratus, especially in Canada. So I'm sure everyone was happy for that. It's their 25th year in wrestling. And yeah, the big shocking, it wasn't shocking who won. It was shocking who got pinned. And that's exactly why I think they did it. It's like, hey, we need Tiffany to not only look strong for WrestleMania to take on Charlotte, but like, let's put Nia Jax, the person she cashed in on to become the women's champion. Let's put her in the rear view. Let's have Tiffany pin Nia in this tag match. And I'm fine with it. We'll see what happens at Mania.
Yeah, exactly. I think this was just to put the Nia challenger thing to bed as Tiffy moves on to Charlotte, Danny.
yeah, I mean, it's funny. Nia Jax is like in the same boat as Liv Morgan. Like, hey, you carried a lot of the division in 2024, but now it's Mania time, so fuck off. You can be one of the 4 teams in the tag match if you want, but you're not getting your own match at Mania either, buddy. Sort of thing. And like, granted, me and James will do some damage control for Nia and come to her aid a bit. But like not that much where I'm like, oh no, I'm so sad about it. Like it's more like she has a right to be sad. If she wants
Yes.
to be upset about it, I would totally understand and be like, yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, Nia should be doing this or that. It's like
it's not our fight. We
Yeah.
get it. We get it.
Yeah.
And from the sidelines, yeah, Nia, we get it. But we're not in the battle with her.
Yeah, I'm staying with you guys. Like I was a big person against Nia in her early run, and then now that she's been back, she has been a lot better. I
Yes.
think, and she did a great job with the title. I also think her switching her finish to that bonsai drop has been great for her. It's a great
Yeah.
finish for her. So she's been a lot better. I think she's been a lot crisper in the ring as well. So I can see what you're saying, Danny. Where like she did a great job as champion the last few months, and now the fact that her reign has ended and she's moving on from the title picture. I can see why she might be a little bit upset, but she did a great job and she deserves all the respect she's going to get.
Yeah, she has a legitimate gripe. I mean, it happened last year. We didn't have Chelsea. We didn't have Chelsea Green. We didn't have Tiffany Stratton. We didn't have Nia Jackson. We didn't have Liv Morgan on the WrestleMania card. And it's like you got to find something for these people to do because they're all talented and they were all doing really well. And it can't be a bullshit tag team match or a battle royal. It's tough. I don't know what the solution is, but they got to find something.
I think maybe possibly Liv and Nia had a little bit of beef. Maybe you can do Nia and Candice against Liv and Raquel for the tag titles. That could be a possibility.
Well, damage control is going to be in that match too.
Oh,
and probably
yeah.
Zoe and Shayna.
All right,
But
four-way.
I will say, Matt,
Zoe and Shayna, definitely not.
Four-way, bang.
Two of those people are not like the other that you mentioned. You said Liv, Chelsea, Nia, and who else?
Tiffany.
Tiffany barely was on the roster for a month. It's totally fine. She wasn't on the card last year.
But why bring her to the main roster if she's not going to be on Mania?
Talk to Penta because it's going to be the same thing. I would be shocked if Penta makes the main.
There'll be a fatal four-way for the IC title. He'll be in that.
Penta's doing something. Like you don't bring a guy like that and not put him on the Mania card. They'll find a spot for him.
Well, probably because it's 2 nights. But like, yeah, Tiffany was not. That's fine that she wasn't on the Mania card in her first 2 months on the roster. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Did she not have a takeover match that weekend? I don't remember.
No, she did not.
All right. Well, shit happens.
Yeah. Chelsea, sure, but like it's more of a crime if it happens this year than last year.
Yeah.
Last year, that only services her character well.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, because she's a champion, she should be. Oh, that's the other thing. No, maybe some of these people will be in a multi-woman match for one of the mid-card titles. So, there's hope for a singles adjacent match where it is everyone for themselves. But like, I could see the Chelsea's title being in like I've been saying for months, if there's a ladder match at Mania, it should be Chelsea's because she'll take a crazy bump off a ladder, and that's what you should do. But
I agree.
Maybe there's hope.
Here's hoping. What else we got, guys? Are we ready to wrap up?
I don't know, but I kind of want to end on you just having a whole bunch of fireworks.
What the hell just happened?
Or if James wants to cry, we can end on that.
It's the one thing that is beneficial of Matt streaming off his phone is he gets the Apple reactions. But yeah, guys, that was Chamber. I guess Danny, I'll start with you. Do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here, real quick?
Yes, and I'll make it brief. What a beautiful, happy ending we got tonight. Everyone's probably gonna sleep soundly like a baby. The crowd goes wild. Everyone goes home happy. You love to see it. But I will leave on a sour note. These shows are a drag. The pacing's so bad.
They really are.
There's like 15 minutes of nothing between matches, and there's only 4 matches. But other than that, I'm so happy that Cena turned heel. I can't think of a better way this night could have ended.
Danny, I no joke, ran down to the bank and got cash because I had to pay for pizza and came back and didn't miss a thing.
I 100% believe it. And I would believe that if you lived 20 blocks from the bank, too.
I live about maybe a football field away from the bank, but yeah, like it was that quick. And I had to wait online in the drive-through one because the regular ATM wasn't working, and I still made it back because it was during that. Apparently, there was like a Rock commercial for his new documentary. Good China joke there, Dragoon. Can't wait to get banned in that country. Cody Rhodes, Taiwan, a country, and see him. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, you guys remember John Cena did that like punch thing when he learned Mandarin as a finisher?
The Thunder Punch. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a thing. Yes, Cody Rhodes, noted civil rights activist. That is one of, if not my favorite wrestling meme of all time.
Yep.
Him standing behind MLK and Malcolm X.
I remember there was like a day where Dragoon found those memes, and it took him like 2 to 3 hours to get through all of the ones that people had made of Cody in those historical photos.
Cody
they're so good.
Cody Raheem Rhodes.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody is Cubano, like he is, he is Hispanic.
He's Cuban.
Yeah, Cubano.
Cody's Cuban. I'm Brazilian.
Yo soy puertorriqueño.
That
Shout
is
out Bad
true.
Bunny. That new album's so good. Matt, you got any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, four matches for 3.5 hours. That's not acceptable. Love the ending though. Doesn't make up for the rest of the show. You got to do better. AEW, please do better so that WWE can be better, because they seem to be getting lazy now. Also, WWE, start spending some money on some good music, because your music sucks. Have Roxanne come out to the police. That's what I want. Put on the red light. Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do that, I was gonna say put on a Swedish House Mafia, but they don't actually say Roxanne in that version, so never mind.
Gotcha. That's pretty much my thoughts. Oh, I was at Toy Fair today. Talked to Matt Cardona. I'll try and post that video tomorrow. Nothing special, but like still nice. Matt's always good to us at the pod, and hopefully we can continue to build on that. That I wouldn't say relationship, but that cordial relationship. Sure, why not?
Yeah, no, thanks,
We're
Matt.
best friends.
We always appreciate whenever Matt has time for the pod. James, do you have any final tears to give us before we get out of here?
Happy tears.
I don't think they're happy, Danny.
Are those sad tissues or happy tissues?
Good reference, bud.
Thank you. I am happy for you guys. John Cena had a bad year once. I get it. I would rather wrestle John Laurinaitis than go through what I'm going through.
John Laurinaitis.
Yep. Yeah.
People power.
People power.
Fun show. And it's surreal. Like, I grew up, I missed the NWO. Like, I didn't watch the NWO as it was happening. I watched it after.
Loser.
Me?
Hmm?
I didn't watch WCW, and like I got into wrestling. Like my first, I became a full-time wrestling viewer WrestleMania 18. So like,
You don't gotta justify it.
Hey, at Skydome.
Yeah.
I know it's not Skydome anymore, but shout out the guy with the sign that said it's still Skydome.
I missed out on that Hogan moment. This is that moment now. This is the thing that we're going to be talking about. Like, wrestling fans are going to be talking about this moment for a long, long, long time. So for better or for worse, we watched something historic tonight, and I think that's incredible. And in the world of wrestling, where we think we've seen it all, even something like this can still rock us. So well done.
You did there.
Yeah. Well done, everybody. There is no adrenaline in this soul.
Dragoon's just attacking James straight up right now.
Yeah. I hope the follow-up is as good as NWO was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, no matter where we go from here, this is going to be a big moment forever. So that is awesome. And you guys all got what you wanted. Please just do a little prayer tonight that John loses at WrestleMania for me.
Sure thing, buddy.
CM Punk is a fucking loser. If he didn't lose, I wouldn't be in this fucking position. You goddamn dork. Fuck Jack Perry. Fuck Jungle Boy, that piece of shit.
Dude, you yelled so loud, Matt was about to fall asleep and jumped out of his chair and took his headphones out.
Yep. Well, take us out, Nick.
Well, I was just going to give my final thoughts because, Matt, I agree with you. I think 4 matches is too little. I understand these are 2 bigger, longer ones, phrasing. But I think we could have had another match in there. But it's an argument of, do you want to give these people time or do you want to have more people on the card? So
less advertising. That's what I want. Less advertising.
Yes, 100%. But welcome to the TKO world here. Other than that, man, I have just been having a great time laughing at James tonight.
It's crazy because I had a really good offensive joke for him, and he walked away. So it's not even a joke. It's more of, I was gonna stand up for him, but he walked away. So he doesn't.
He literally stood up and walked out.
Yeah.
Oh, and he came back.
Oh, here he comes. Okay, so I'm gonna say it as he's putting his headphones on.
I was like, James, honestly, I like it better in the beginning of the pod where like you were purposely disheveled. It was great. Anyway, let's get out of here, guys. So I would like to thank everybody so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. If you liked the video here tonight, let us know that you're enjoying what you're doing, what we're doing, excuse me, and we can continue to do it. And if you subscribe, you continue to get all the great videos here on the pod. I can guarantee you the next time we'll be on is Wednesday. Maybe we'll try to cover Monday, depending on what happens. If Cena shows up, I don't know what's been announced there.
He's flying to Africa tonight.
So he won't be.
I doubt it. He flew from Budapest to be at the show, and then now he's flying to Africa.
Oh, yeah, because he was such a good guy.
Wait, can we just put that last comment up on the screen real quick?
Oh, yeah, I haven't had a chance. Let's see. Dragoon saying, oh, I got it.
No, here we go.
Oh, my God.
No.
He's doing it on
purpose. This will just keep going.
So he's basically saying, tell that guy in the red shirt he's a bully, just like his fraud-ass hero, but please.
All right.
Oh, wow. He had technical difficulties. That's crazy.
Apparently, James was a bully. All right. Anyway, we'll see what happens on Monday. Maybe we'll try to cover it. We'll definitely be back here on Wednesday to cover AEW Dynamite. If something happens on SmackDown, maybe we'll cover it then. But either way, we will definitely be here Wednesday, and we'll be back on Sunday cover AEW Revolution, which looks like a very, very stacked card. And considering we're getting WWE, AEW pay-per-views back-to-back, I'm very excited to see how they stack up against each other. So we'll see what happens there. If you guys want to follow us on social media and you're here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. TikTok and Facebook links now fixed because apparently those have been broken for a while. And I just noticed last week, they're all in the description below. If you would like to follow us on any of those platforms and you're on some of our other ones, you could just search us on Market Down Pod. But I will give you some direct links. Twitter is at marketdown_pod. Instagram is at marketdownpod. YouTube.com/marketdown3665. Looks like Matt had to cut out there for a minute. I guess his phone finally died. But
that's fine.
Yeah. Anything before we leave, guys? Any last pressing remarks?
Yeah, James, I'm sorry, but this was James's personal 9/11, and I'm sorry, man. Never forget, right?
A little extreme there, bro, but
tell that to James. He's crying.
Yeah, I at some point in the night, I'm going to send the Cartman. Oh, your tears are delicious gift to him.
So much.
I just haven't had an opportunity to send it in my other wrestling chat. Anyway, for Danny Hernandez, Matt Gascon, producer boy Eric Asante, who was here for like 5 minutes, and James Asante, my name is Nick Cummings. Thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. Have a good one, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Month.